Hello Tigers, it's Dr. J. Wilson, and it struck me as I'm here at Team Wilson headquarters actually building a fence that this is adulting 101 at its finest. My husband and I have lived at this property for 10 years and it came with a fence and it was really run down, so we decided to get some bids. Found that the bids were going to run us between $5,000 and $6,000 to build a fence for our dogs to be able to stay in our yard. So we decided to do it on our own. So we've skipped a couple of steps. I'm going to show you where we are, and then I'm going to show you as much as I can to try to help you learn how to build your own fence and save probably $5,000 or $6,000. So when we made a decision to actually build the fence ourselves, we had to commit to buying some tools. But I'll be really honest with you, we probably have not spent a couple $100s worth on tools. And again, in the long run, I think it's going to be cheaper because now we can build lots of stuff. We ended up buying a circular saw. We bought a long handled saw or long saw. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I'll show you those here in a minute. We bought some sawhorses. We're going with 2.5-inch screws into the posts and 1 5/8 screws with an a battery powered screwdriver to save energy instead of nailing every single one of these pieces in. This is a bit of the old fence that's still standing, and as you can see, it's pretty run down. Our gate actually had fallen off and was hanging by a thread. You can see how worn and weathered that wood is. So we decided to rebuild the existing fence using the posts. The posts are still in pretty good shape. We're gonna have to do a little bit of rot filler, but we're actually rebuilding using the existing posts with all new wood.
Can I kick some of this down now?
All right, so here we're gonna demo a little bit. Alex is using a mallet from Harbor Freight.
Do I break that?
Yep. And he's just gonna lightly knock it loose. There we go. So one side is done, and now he's gonna work on this side. Almost let me do. Careful. There we go. Now you get the bottom.
Oop.
There we go. And that's it. Now we got another panel off. So that's the first step. Once you're ready to take it down and demo. All right, so occasionally you get a big panel like this. Whoever put this fence up, this thing is like 16 foot long. So we're gonna cut it a little bit so we can get rid of the panel when we demo. Got it? Get this one too?
Yeah.
And as you can see, eye gear just in case. This is what I'm calling the long saw. This thing costs 20 bucks. I'm telling you. This is easy as pie. So again, as you can see, the first thing we did was demo, and after demoing, you have to measure the length between each of the posts in order to cut your 2x4s. We're using 2x4x8s and 2x4x10s between some of our sections because our original posts are not even.
What you do is you center it from, is it flush up against that wood?
Yeah.
So flush up against that wood, you center them at 88.5. And so take a 2x4.
Which are these huge there.
Get your 2x4, get your mark. Gabby, grab that.
Show them on that.
Level, huh? So I've already measured
Back
it.
up, Gabby.
But you always want to make sure you measure. Yeah, see, I was off on my second line. So Gabby's gonna make the mark and then I'm gonna cut it.
how you make the mark is you line it up with this.
Make sure it's straight. Because I'm going to cut with it. That's not straight.
There we go.
That'll work.
So there's your line where he's going to cut.
So got the mark, got my skill saw. This little apparatus right here is called the fence, and what that does is that help guide you. In this particular case, it doesn't look like the fence is going to help me that much. Yeah, see, that's my line right there, and I got a laser to guide me. So I'm just going to go with my eyeball. I don't care about that because I don't need that part. I just missed the mark, which if you undercut it, you're fine. But if you miss it, if you cut it too short, then you're in trouble. So it's better to be long than short. So I'm gonna get it on that laser line right there. Jumped up and bit me a little bit. So we got our cut. So now what Gabby's doing is she's putting in a exterior screw, other way. Other way.
Great.
She's putting in an exterior screw so that we can make sure that this is level. We'll put one in on this side and put another one in on the other side.
Y'all think we can get the third fence done today?
It's because the wood is wet.
There we go. That was a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. So, as you can see, we got this about as flush as we can get it. Doesn't need to be exact science, but where it needs to be exact at is on this part right here. So, I got my level, and basically, this is a tool that you use to make sure things are flat or straight. And what you want to look for is you want to look for that little bubble right there. And so we're going to bring it down about a hair, about right there. And I like that right there. So we're going to go. And I probably should have, on this one, I probably should have went another ½ an inch. But I think we're going to be all right.
Ooh.
You cracking.
All right, so
He gruck.
now I'll take a look at it, and I'm not particularly happy about it. But the issue is it's level because of the way that the posts are. And so what you do is when you make your planks, you adjust accordingly. Here I use this from these planks on down. So now I'm taking it out, and I'm putting on this last plank over here.
Leave him alone. Leave that bunny alone.
And then I'm gonna stick it in right here. That'll work. Then I'm gonna take my chalk line, which is right here.
Are there two in there?
And I'm going to get one here. Then I'm gonna take another plank. But before I do that though, in order to be able to make sure that your planks are fairly even, you need a baseline. So I'm gonna take my tape measure over here.
How many bunnies are in there, Mom?
Don't know.
And
Leave it alone.
I'm going to take a measurement, which the top of this is
6.
See, the problem that we're having is because the terrain, every time I've done this first post right here has gone up about ½ an inch every single time. But that's what you need to do in order to get it even. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that plank right there. Come on, good. Stop. You burning battery. We're gonna take this plank
Alex, give me the thing.
and we're gonna raise it up 6 inches. Gonna set it on there like that right there.
And that is how we line up our planks
And
once
that's how
we
you
start
line the planks
putting
up.
all of our planks up. So we did the same for this one, and that is how we got them all even.
What we need to do now is we need to do the same thing, because what I've discovered is that if I would have assumed that this was 88 and then I cut an 88 right here, it could possible be too short, but you always make sure you measure multiple times and only cut once, because again, if you mess the cut up, you cut it too short, then you can't do anything about that. So
Always